Hello guys, welcome to this series of shell scripting for the beginners. In previous lecture, we have seen what is the user variables and how to store them. In this lecture, we will cover how we can take the input from the user and store it into the variables. So let's see what is the user input. So user input is the input given by or provided by the user while code is executing. So let's see how we can take this user input into our script. So we know the first line is your path to your shell, and let's print a line before reading the user input. This line will indicate the user to enter the input. So we will print like enter wait, and after that we will read the user input. And to do that, we have a command called as read and the variable name. So read and the variable name, and when user enters the value, that value will be stored into this particular variable. Now we have read the weight, and we will again print that value on the terminal using echo value is $weight. So it will print the user input on the terminal itself. So let's see how it works. So it is asking for the weight value, let's say 45, and value is 45. So this is how you can take a single input from the user using read command and the variable name in which you want to store that particular value. Suppose you want to store or you want to read multiple values at a time from the user and store those values into the different variables. We also can do that using the read command. Let's see what we can do. Let's say you want to read weight, name, and the age value. So we will change the message here, enter weight, name, and age value. And here after read command, you need to provide the variable name. Here this was used for the single value, but now you want to read multiple values, so here you have to provide multiple variable names also. So second will be the name as mentioned here. First we will read weight, then name, and then age. So first variable will store the weight value, second will store name, and third will store the age value. And that's it. And we will print all these values. The value is weight, name equals to $name, and age equals to $age. That's it. So you have to give multiple variable names after the read command, and again we are printing those values. So let's see. So it is asking to enter weight, name, and age. Let's say weight is 65. For the second input, you just need to press space bar and enter the name. Let's say Suresh, and again space bar and the third value, that is age, 25. And here we go. Value is 65, that is weight. Name equals to Suresh and age equals to 25. So this is how we can take multiple user inputs from the user using read command. Now many times if you are a Linux user, you have seen while entering the password on the Linux system, whatever the password you typed, it is not shown on the terminal or the space where you are entering the password. So we can do the similar thing with the user input also. Let's say let's modify this code. So what we will do, enter username and password, username and password. So we will ask user to enter username and password value, and here we will store those values into the same variable names like user name and password. So these two values will be entered by the user. Let's take a single line. So first we will read the username. Let's remove this. Here again, echo enter password, and while reading, read password. So here we are reading the password. Let's see what is the behavior first, and then I will tell you the technique how we can disable that value. So value is dollar username and password is dollar password. That's it. Let's run and see the behavior. So first it is asking for the user. Let's say ABC is the user and password is ABCD. So value is password, password equals to ABCD. Okay, let's see what's the issue. Okay, wrong variable name we have printed. Again run this code, enter username ABC and password will be ABCDEF. So value is ABC, that is the username, and password is equals to ABCDEF. So while entering the password, you can see here what I have entered. But if you want to disable that, you can do with a single flag, that is -s. So after read command, what you have to do is use -s and the variable name. So whenever this -s flag is used, uh, it will uh, it will disable the characters. Whatever the characters are printed by the user, those characters will be disabled. So let's see the behavior now. Again run this script, username will be same ABC, enter, and now it's asking for the password. Here the password will be 12345. I'm entering the password, but you won't be able to see the password I'm typing there. 12345. I have entered the password, but that password is not visible here because of that -s flag. And if I enter, here you can see value is ABC and password is 12345. So this is how we can silent the user input using -s flag. Now next is, what if you don't provide this variable after the read command. You want the user to enter the username, and you are using read command, and after that variable name in which you want to store the username. But suppose you don't want to use the variable here, you just want to use read command. Will it work? Let's see what happens. The username will be QWERT and password is 123. So it is not printing here because we have not provided a variable to store the username, right? But there is a variable that stores that value inside it, and that variable name is reply. So here, instead of username, what I will do, I will use that particular variable reply. So whenever after the read command, if you don't use the variable name, that particular variable's value will be stored into this reply variable, and if you print this reply variable, it will print that particular variable's value. Let's see. Now it's asking for the username ABC, password 123, and here you can see value is ABC and password is 123. In your script you can see we have not used any variable with name reply. This is the inbuilt variable which will store the user input if you do not provide the variable name after the read command. So this is the one more important function. Now let's see how we can pass command line arguments to your script. So what are the command line arguments? So command line arguments are the parameters passed to your code while we are trying to execute our code. So here you can see, so this is how using dot slash and your file name we can execute our file. But after the file, if some values are passed to our code, so these are the command lines, and we will see how we can store these command lines. Let's go to the code. So here first what we will do, we will give a message that displaying the command line arguments, displaying command line args, and echo $1. So this variable will store first command line argument in like first whatever the first command line argument is passed, that will be stored into this particular variable. Let's see how this works. So we do not have to use any variable to store the command line arguments. Those are stored inside this variable 1. So let's see what we will do. While executing the code, I will pass a name, that is Suresh, and let's see what happens. So this is the command line argument, displaying command line arguments, and it is entering Suresh. So this is how script works for the command line arguments. So whatever the command line arguments are passed in order, let's say this is the first argument passed to our shell script, so it is stored into the one variable. If you want if you want to print the second argument, you just need to enter $2. If you want to print third argument, you need to print $3. So these numbers are corresponding to the numbers of the command line argument. So this is the first command line argument stored in variable 1. Let's say now second is let's say 44, and this is the second command line argument which is corresponding to this variable 2, and the third value which we will pass is 2345. This is the third command line argument, and it is associated with this third variable. So let's see will it print or not. We have saved, yes, we have saved the code. Let's run the code. So Suresh 44 and 2345. So these are the three command line arguments which we have passed to our script, and we have printed those values using variables 1, 2 and 3. And what is the zeroth argument? This is the zeroth argument. This is first, this is second, and this is third. We are printing first, second and third variables only here. And suppose if you want to print the your script name also, you can do $0 space $1. So this zeroth argument is always your file name. This will be the first argument, this is second, and this is third. So whenever you will try to print $0, it will print the script name. This will be the first argument to your code, and this will be second, and this will be third argument. So let's see how it will work now. Okay, we have not saved the code. So here it has printed the your file name also, variable.sh, and then your command line arguments. So this will be the zeroth argument, this will be the first argument, this will be the second, and this will be the third command line argument to the code. And if you don't want to use this much variables like $1, $2, $3, if you are using, like, let's say multiple command line arguments are passing to your code, and you don't want to waste time printing this $1, $2, $3, instead of all these things, what we can do is $@ and it will print all the command line arguments. Let's see. So it has printed Suresh 44 and 2345 in a single variable. So this $@ will print all the command line arguments excluding your file name. If you don't want to increase the code length by using $1, $2, $3, you can just use $@ and it will print all the command line arguments. And if you want to see like how many command line arguments are passed to your code, you can see that using echo $#. So this hash will print a number of command line arguments passed to your code. So here what we are passing, 3 command line argument, right? So here you first $@ will print all the command line arguments, and $# will print number of command lines. So 3 command line arguments we are passing, and hence it is printing value 3 here. So this is how we can receive the command line arguments into the variables 1, 2, 3 corresponding to the number of command lines, and @ will be used to print all command lines, and hash will be used to print the number of command lines. That's all for the today's lecture. See you in the next video. Thank you.